Let me say this, bullying works.
I mean, it's one thing to be in the comments. It's another thing to be in CapCut.
Why does Diana Ross have to see that?
I don't like when men eat. I think it's weird.
You'd be surprised to know one of the people I love the most in my life is a Muslim.
Death to the Instagram couple.
And that's why Whoopi Goldberg said, don't let a man in your house.
I need every head bowed, every eye closed.
Well, you can't have more than 3 gay men in your home at one time. That's what I've learned.
Oh my God. Like, how is this so bad? Like, it keeps getting worse.
You cannot play in the face of Kenneth Babyface Edmonds.
Girl, get up. The fuck?
I've got something on my mind.
You always do.
I always do. Okay,
What now?
So I have been watching a little television program called Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. One thing about me,
Shout out to LA.
hold on to that for a second. One thing that you probably know about me, I've always wanted a sister. Like, as long as I've been an adult, I've wanted a sister. I feel like I would be so powerful if I had an older sister.
Oh, you want to be younger sister?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm trying to be eldest daughter syndrome.
Yeah, you don't need that trauma.
No. But like, watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the sisterhood, if you want to even call it that, I don't even know if it qualifies, between Kim Richards and her sister Kyle Richards. Oh my God. I don't want a sister. That's an op. That's a nemesis.
An op in your own home.
That is someone who has grown up right behind you, studying your every move to destroy you. That is what Kyle does to Kim. Kim, listen, has a problem with alcohol, has a problem with drugs, has a problem with logic. But the way that Kyle treats her is so ugly inside and out. Oh my gosh, talk about someone rotten to her core.
So you're into it now. I feel like you were slow to love, slow to start.
Well, season 1 is bad.
Okay.
Season 2 is better because Brandy Glanville comes and she shakes the table. That's the one who, there's like famous gif of Kyle calling her a slut. No, Kim calling her a slut pig at a fight with Game Night because they called her stupid.
And that'll happen. If you ever get into the trenches at a game night,
they hit her crutches at Game Night.
And honestly, that'll happen to you at a game night. Game nights will bring out the worst in you. Let me say that.
Are you competitive?
Absolutely. I have an older brother.
I'm very competitive.
I was like, I played football for years because I was like, I'm going to do this better. I'm going to be running back.
TGT. I feel like that's a key part of your lore that no one knows. That like you were the sports head in the family.
For a bit. And then my dad was like, stick to ballet, you little girl.
Ooh.
Actually, that's not true. He was like, this is so fun. Like, she's going to be a lesbian. And they were all correct. But I was a sports head for a bit. I did also want a sister, though. And the funny thing is, as you're describing this tumultuous relationship, my toxic trait, I'm like, sign me up.
Oh, no. I would not. I would want to be like the mean sister, like low-key. I would want to be like the sister who like does the bullying, but the sister on the receiving end, I'd rather die.
See, okay, yeah. Well, she sounds like she's on death's door right now, the way she's getting curb stomped left and right by her sister, by her own blood.
It's so sad to me. And then later, I've started this show because I want to get to that scene, which I've seen 100 times, but I don't know any of the context around it, where they're at dinner and like Lisa Rinna is there. It's season 5, I believe. And Kyle is like trying to like be mean to Kim, and Kim's like, you've never been a good sister to me. Everyone else here is a better sister than me than you are. And then another white woman, don't know her name, was like, oh, you beast.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, I want to go there so bad. Take me there.
I love what they come up with. Beast is so specific but, and like, crazy.
Beast, slut, pig.
Yeah.
Even like close your legs to married men. It's like there are things that on like our housewives vernacular that are so specific, and it's like they're building bridges.
Some of these white women, they have pen game. They're a little. They've like been listening to Kendrick a little heavy. They said, not like us, haters rise, and like I will too. I'll get to work.
But one of the things that I don't like about Beverly Hills, that I don't think is a problem with like classic Roni, is that there are too many husbands involved. Like the episode I just watched in season 3, Mauricio, Kyle's husband, just birds of a feather. Hello. Is like barking back at Brandy. I'm like, why are you as a man raising your voice to a woman? Say it a woman's business.
I thought for some reason that I was expecting more men to be involved, given out where I am right now in Roni. Like, I feel like a lot of the
Simon era.
Yeah.
Well, then
and Simon's up in everyone's business. My God. Like
Simon is so Peter Thomas Patricia coded. Like that's what Nene would say about Peter.
Yeah. I mean, I got to a point though where he's like, someone's summoning the demon of him smoking cigarettes like out of his body right now. And I was like, see, this is a storyline I didn't even want to get to. Like, this is information I do not need.
I forgot that Simon and Ramona really used to like go at it. Like Ramona hated it. But then at one party, she like loves him. She's like, oh my God, I love Simon. And it's like, Ramona Singer is so, I love Paris. Paris is my friend.
Say that. Also, wait, I was going to say, do you love how look at me now. Our friend used to make fun of how I used to never.
Come so far.
I've come so far. I'm engaging with your Real Housewives feelings. Because I'm an empath like that, you know?
That's and let me say this, bullying works. Bullying works.
And we got, and some bullies won big last night at the Grammys. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
What are we talking about this week? Girl, the Grammys. And the Rachael Kickconnell, Matt James breakup that I have been inhaling every single detail of despite not watching any of their Instagram, social media stuff, the Bachelor season about them, whatever.
I didn't realize you didn't watch Bachelor season, but more on that. And we'll also be joined by journalist Sarah Hagi to talk Amelia Perez star Karla Sofía Gascon's pretty heinous tweets.
Sarah really shook the table with those.
And as she always does. That's an investigative journalist, let's say that.
Sorry, excuse me. Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Are you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first, but a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat. But we're not calling you out. No. We're calling you in. It's a safe space.
To talk shit.
But of course. From Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Ask me where it just came from.
Where?
The courthouse. And I saw Drake there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I said, if we don't get Beyonce and Miley doing 2 Most Wanted at the Grammys, I'm filing suit. I'm putting on my legal action wig. I'm wearing a suit and a tie.
Okay. You Cardi B at the courthouse.
Well, and
serving a look and an attitude.
And has been. Okay, but
you gotta win.
Other than that, perfect Grammys. No notes. And the weekend thing, but whatever. But the good outweighs the bad.
I had so much fun. And it made me almost like too much fun.
No, it's like,
what's afoot?
What's about to happen next? What is about to happen? Oh, Amelia Perez, Best Picture. Like, how bad can it be after a night that was honestly so good?
Yeah. What was your favorite performance and what was your least favorite performance?
Wait, before we get to that, we have to say, we have to hold space for Beyonce Album of the Year.
And quiet on set. And it's been held. Thank you.
Hold my finger.
I don't want to do that right now. I'm not in a great space.
Wow, you're
that.
Not a lover yearner. Like you
not
always
right. Not
say.
Today. Can I have a week off? Okay, my God.
Okay.
But Album of the Year. Damn time.
I screamed. I was so like, we watched together last night at my house, and I truly thought, oh God, Billy again. Like, and I love that album. Hit Me Hard and Soft, but. It's like, oh, please. Like, how much more does Beyonce have to do?
Wait, I didn't think it was going to go to Billie. I actually thought it, not Taylor either. I thought it would possibly go to Charlie.
Oh.
For a moment. And then I was like, no, this is too, given the history of the Grammys, it would be too fucked up to give it to Taylor. And then I think this cultural like crossover moment and also Beyonce, being long overdue.
Yeah.
I was like, it has to go to Beyonce, or that would be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
they'd have a race riot on their hands again. Yeah, so
and you know who's gonna be on our side? Miley Cyrus.
Period.
Miley Cyrus presenting what was it? Song of the Year. And she's like, listen, if it's not Beyonce, I'm going to say Beyonce anyway. And it went to Kendrick, so she was like, okay.
Okay, fine. I can handle that.
I'll rest right now.
I know. Queen.
Love. But I was just so happy for Beyonce. Did not like her dress, but listen, we ride. How meaningful.
I will say something to go back to, though. Speaking of the screaming, and the volume at your house was astronomical.
Okay, and I saw a tweet today that was like, who finds Bruno Mars sexy? And it was 3 people, and all 3 of them were in my apartment. Like,
well, you can't have more than 3 gay men in your home at one time. That's what I've learned. It's 2 maximum, okay?
No, the noise
2 black
was out
women,
of control.
3 gay black men. No,
the noise was out of control.
We needed to turn down,
but we turned up at the right moment.
Yes,
for Beyonce.
Correct. Yeah.
I did see like online immediately after people being like, "Oh, Cowboy Carter is like her worst album. Like, why couldn't this have gone Lemonade or self-titled or Renaissance, of course?" And while I think that Cowboy Carter is like not her best work,
yeah.
Vocally, she's still on another level that many people can't even wish to dream about. I won't say any names.
You're a dreamer. You dream a lot. You know that? Sorry.
But I think that like Cowboy Carter as like an exercise in her own dexterity
Yeah.
says a lot about her career.
Yeah.
And how like they're so, and also how are you gonna win album of the year for a country album that was nominated at the CMTs? Now wake that up.
Now you're shaking the table.
And
But I'm also crying. We have to talk about the reaction moment. And I'm sure I was laughing at Beyonce's shock and awe, but really I was giggling at Blue Ivy looking at her up and down like, girl, get up. The fuck? Like, woo. The manager in her locked in. That is my CEO if I've ever seen one. My God.
She made history. Blue did. And then did you see the other? So that was when Beyonce won like Best Country Album. First Black woman in 50 years or Black person in 50 years to win, I read. But then later when she won Album of the Year, Blue, I saw a lip reader being like, Blue said, can I go up with you? And Beyonce was like, of course.
Aww. She's just like me for real. I would be like, Mom, scoot over.
But that was kind of a moment of my life, I feel like. Okay, so now what other, do you want to talk about Kendrick? LA girl.
I mean, yeah, more honestly, I feel like my LA pride gets more usurped by your hater pride.
Ooh.
Like I sure am like, finally, like a win. I love being from LA. I was hoping he would shout out Baldwin Hills, but he's like, I don't know, you bitches are too uppity out there. Like Compton is real different than like a Ladera Baldwin Hills moment. And that's okay. We still on at least the same side of LA. But Hunter, I could like sense it in her chest being like, the real winners were not LA natives. The real winners were fucking haters, petty bitches.
The real winners are people who wake up to take a screenshot. The people who get out of bed to start spreading some lies, spreading some gossip. Not even lies, the truth. The truth. I don't think I'll ever recover from Kendrick sweeping all 5 of his nominations.
Yeah.
And then everyone in the auditorium at the Crypto.com Arena formerly Sable Center, singing along to A minor. I said, "Oh my gosh, Drake is looking for a Twitch streamer basement to crash out in right now. He's
suing the Grammys.
He truly has lost more money than Bruno Mars. Like,
oh my God."
And then going back to back with the Super Bowl. Hello, football.
No, it's death is upon my friend.
I don't know, but I feel like he reps Dallas sometimes. So the Luka Doncic trade is also unsettling his spirit.
You lost me there, but I will agree with you in allyship. Something I do want to talk about before we actually get to best and worst performances, I just need to hold space for a little bit. I love a bitch who flips. Benson Boone has got me. I don't know why, but that that jumpsuit, those karate kicks, those theatrics. He is the last straight man on earth, actually. I don't believe any men are straight, but that man is a heterosexual in that tight little blue deep V situation, singing that gospel song. Oh my God. I'm convinced. Okay, I'm hooked.
Last night was a major night for me being like, oh, that song that I always hear everywhere I go. Oh, totally. That song that I always like scroll past on TikTok. 100%. Had no clue what Benson Boone looked like before last night. And I was like, he is hot and yet does nothing for me.
But okay,
like I know that I should feel like he's hot, like country kind of back road, Bartlesville, Paul Mescal, but
no. Aaron Taylor Johnson knockoff. Aaron Taylor Johnson's little brother in Bushwick. Sit with it. He just needs, once he gets his stylist, you'll see it. Once he keeps his feet on the ground, you'll see it because he's moving too much.
I just saw his album cover and I was like, that's nasty. He's like roller skating, shirtless with like some cut off khaki pants. It's like, girl, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'll see you on the other side. You'll see it one day.
Okay.
But let's get to the meat of it all.
Okay.
Let's get to the women for once.
Oh, thank God. Every woman did such a good job, except for Janelle Monáe.
I mean, that was if we want to start off with the worst performances, we can start there. She didn't even get it's one thing to not be able to hit the notes, but not even the moves. She was really reaching for that electric slide. Oh my God.
It was the kind of thing where I was like, wait, sorry, why does Diana Ross have to see that?
We were like, oh, Hunter's reaction when Diana Ross came out, all the gays yelling, "Mother!" and Hunter yelling, "I'm so sad she had to see that performance."
Like, she should not have to have seen that.
Yeah,
and neither should I, honestly. I just think the whole, like, Quincy Jones tribute it just felt all over the place. It felt very kind of, like, slapped together. Oh, I didn't mean to say slap, but slapped at the last minute. Will Smith introducing it all was kind of like, huh, okay. Like I kind of see, I get like the Fresh Prince connection, but like,
I didn't think it needed to be him. And I didn't think she needed to be wearing that I Heart QJ t-shirt.
That Times Square ass t-shirt. No, I didn't like that at all. And then the
it was
white
giving
girl,
no budget.
the white girl and the man in the glitter suit. I was like,
the white girl in that busted outfit as a transition. Shout, maybe she's big in the country world, and shout out to her for whatever she does. But using her as a transition,
you can't be big enough in the country world to wear that outfit.
I mean, no, country bitches sometimes. That's your culture more.
Who's higher dose? What's her name? Casey Musgraves.
Anyway, her transition was crazy to go from. Who was it?
Yeah,
no.
From Stevie Wonder to Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, it was just, that was a mess. That was a hot mess. But you know, it was a serve.
Oh, and Cynthia Erivo too. I thought she sounded so good, but like just her doing that song was just like random to me. Her doing Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yeah. But she sounded great, so I don't give a fuck. And she looked incredible.
She did.
Dress was cunt. And speaking of cunt, speaking of the original cunt, capital C, I don't even know if I can say that this many times on the podcast, but I did. Doechii.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Chapel popping that gum on stage.
That too. But
Doechii was so good.
Best performance of the night to me.
Yeah.
I was just anti-black, whatever you're about to say.
But no, I thought she was spectacular. And like also just like it's crazy because they did the like best new artist in a medley, which I didn't mind, but it just seemed like Doechii was at another level than like whoever the white boy was with the face tattoos, who's not Jelly Roll, but close. Or even your man, Shabuzi. I was like, how Shabuzi had the same amount of time as Doechii, and she did 3 songs and he did like 1.5.
He only got that one hit, and I ride behind him, but like, just let him be there and have fun in his too tight suit. But yeah, that performance was fucking outstanding. The production value, the Tom Brown. You know who the real winner of the night?
Tom Brown.
Sorry,
like
Beyonce, it was Tom Brown.
I wouldn't say
I
that.
shouldn't
Okay.
say that. Yeah, that was crazy.
8 outfits in a night, though, it seemed like. I mean, I like also all of like the kind of doppelgangers on stage was so cool.
Love.
I mean, not to pit women against each other, but like something about Doechii's performance worked for me in a way that Chapel's performance just didn't.
And then that kind of was a bummer because I normally love the production value that Chapel brings.
Same, but I just something about this, I was like, oh, it's like kind of like fun, but it's just too many elements.
Thematically, it seemed all over the place, but I will say she had one of the best speeches of the night. And I'm glad she brought her gum and her little notebook up there to read the fucking music industry for filth. Fine, do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that about the gum.
Okay.
I went to Skilly's Manners Academy, so no, I'm not going to be popping gum on stage. But listen, it's the message, not the messenger. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, all the noises I just made to be like, sure, whatever.
Okay. What? Oh, Gaga. Gaga had a really good speech. Gaga really. I was like, oh wait, I'm not even like a little monster like that. Like my paws are kind of like
your paws are at half.
Kind of like shrugging a little bit sometimes. But when she came out in that the black gown with like the kind of like heavy like bang, I was like, oh, okay, she's back.
I mean, the looks
we're
were
in
giving,
a really good space.
And then shout out to MasterCard. Let's have a moment for MasterCard
and talk about allyship. LGBTQIA plus for paying for that ad.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. But that truly, like that moment, I felt like a proud mother watching these hysterical gays lose their mind.
I know.
And like, again, I love Gaga down, delirious. Like the choreo was eating Honey Balenciaga, shout out to you. And then I was like, but this is something special. The way she really rallies and wakes up the gay community is to be studied in a lab.
But also, like, it's like not even 20 minutes later, Michael's just over phone full volume watching the performance all over again. I was like, oh my Lord. Can't you at least like tell us to pause like the commercial so you could watch this? But I thought it was so good. I need to hold space for one woman in particular who truly had the best, most understated, stunning outfit of the night.
Who?
Miss Olivia Rodrigo.
Loved this grown, sexy look on her. But then I saw Jose's commentary and I was like, wait, that is how I felt about it. It was like, this is an Oscars dress. This isn't a Grammys dress. And
that is like, not an Oscars dress.
I think, well, not like where she would be at the Oscars. She's not getting nominated for an Oscar. Oh, well, I guess she did act once or twice in that High School Musical, the musical. But I felt like that was a dress that was like, it was sexy, but it was kind of boring. Like I thought it was a serve. I thought she looked great. I thought she looked grown, but I was like, oh yeah, I think I wouldn't have given her best dress. You're giving her best dress?
I am. I
Oh.
thought she looked amazing. And I
Oh.
don't think it's an Oscars dress, okay? It's a little Uchi mama.
don't
it's
shoot
a
the
little,
messenger.
it's a little messy. It's a little like, oh, she's young. I loved it.
Well, I loved it definitely better than who had a similar version of it that looked a shit show.
Who was that?
And I was trying to defend
Who
her,
the hell
but I
are
couldn't.
they?
The bisexual one who had the fine man that she left.
Victoria Monet.
Victoria Monet.
Oh, that was a mess.
Like her dress was trying to do the same thing, but it really did not.
But not even trying to do the same thing. I think the thing about Olivia Rodrigo's dress is that she just looked so like it was just perfect. There are no notes. There are not too many elements. I thought there were too many elements last night in all of these
But
dresses.
that's the fun of it sometimes.
No.
You're such a like the row girl. Oh my God, you love like your simple knits or something. Okay, see, I want to hold
Mary Kate and Ashley, call me.
Yeah. The row, please sponsor me. Actually, not no. I was gonna say a little bit of a moment for lesbians and headpieces.
Alicia Keys, you're speaking about. Alicia Keys, you're speaking about. Okay.
I literally just wanted to say that you can know exactly what I was talking about.
And actually, that reminds me of Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is never caught not looking her best.
I was
An
face,
inspiration.
hair, body. And then we said the same thing when we were at your house about Stevie Wonder. We're like, fits have been going off. Looked good. Hat, beautiful. Yeah, it was.
He
it was
took
working
Billie
for me.
Eilish's hat. He said,
He
give me
took Billie
that. He
Eilish's
said, give
little-
it to me now.
Billie Eilish, Lord.
Who else? Oh, I loved Miley.
Miley in the Aliyah was taking me out.
Yeah.
And then Miley announcing, girl, who the fuck else is gonna wear this Aliyah dress? You see me? I'm like, you are so ghetto, bitch. I love you.
No,
Like,
that I would die for her. I would die for her. But what do I always say about her?
that she is 45.
She is 45 and 16 and freshly 21
Yes.
and also 64. Like she's all of those ages at once.
Mhm. Queen.
I like Chapel's first dress. I didn't like her little clan hat thing. That was a mess. The dunce cap she was wearing up on stage.
Don't call it a clan hat.
What would you call a tall hat that's pointy?
You got me.
Like I said. Oh, a party cap. Okay.
A party hat. Yeah. You're like, and what party are you going with, actually?
Okay, did you see this Babyface red carpet interview that was going viral?
No.
These two women, before you ask, yes, they were. WHITE.
Mhm.
Interviewing Babyface on the red carpet through like the AP live feed. And one of the women is like, sees Chapel Roan coming behind him. She's like, Chapel. And he's like, oh, okay. He like moves out of the frame and the Chapel comes up. And it was just so rude. Let me tell you how rude it was. Khloe Kardashian logged on to say it was rude. And then Charlie Puth quote tweeted her to say how rude it was. No.
Wait.
No.
Not two white legends. Wait, that's so crazy. That's just two names I did not think you were going to say.
It's like
first or
you
second.
cannot play in the face of Kenneth Babyface Edmonds.
Chapel. Even Chapel was probably like,
No.
No.
Talk about whip appeal. Oh, they
Ooh,
got that
honey.
girl.
But I feel like overall, like a win is a win is a win. That was a great night for music. Music's greatest night, but it actually was.
It really
For
was,
once,
except
thank
for the whole weekend, like groveling to the weekend. I said, "Oh, girl, that's Tedros."
Yeah, that
Move
would have
along.
been a good performance if Miss Nosferatu, Lily Rose Depp, rolled on out.
I'm just a freak, yeah.
And that's what I've been saying. You know, it's been a while since I've cared about a swirl couple. I moved out of Bed-Stuy a while ago, okay? But when I tell you, I locked in. When I woke up to Evan Nicole Brown's Instagram story, I shouldn't even be speaking this language type of queen, who said, I don't even care that Rachael Kickconnell did blackface. I am on her side of this war with former Bachelor star Matt James because they broke up in possibly the craziest way.
Let me tell you, I feel the same way. I woke up and I saw that. First of all, she did not do blackface. We'll get to that in a second.
Or
though.
sorry, something similar in the same family. Oh my god!
But I was like, I have never followed them on any platform. Did not watch their Bachelor season. Barely even knew about the drama beforehand. I just remember that like she had done a sorority formal, dressed up in like a kind of plantation chic.
Yeah,
And had
got a prairie dress or two.
I'm not gonna touch that. Okay, so I've never followed them on anything. Never watched their Bachelor season. Didn't really know any like the controversy around their coupling, whatever. Don't follow Matt James's food blogs or something. I only know that his marathon running time for the New York City Marathon was not good. because one of my friends who did run the marathon told me that it was not impressive for him to run it in 3 hours. But why was I locked in? Why did I press play on Call Her Daddy, a
Immediately.
6-hour interview, and watch the entire thing?
Yep.
So we should catch everyone up on like what the latest is.
Yeah. So I did watch The Bachelor during, I think it was like COVID. Me and my mom locked in. This was the first Black Bachelor, Matt James. And season, arguably so incredibly boring. But like he's Black, so it's different. And one of the girls on it is this, what my mother would call Kardashian looking kind of white girl. I think her face is like normal and fine.
This is Rachel you're talking about.
This is Rachel, yeah. Makes it to basically the end, but at the end it comes out that she had participated.
She'd like dressed up for like a kind of plantation themed like sorority formal at her college.
Yeah. And obviously 2020 COVID, but also, race war. So,
and this is the long arc too of what gets Chris Harrison off the show for defending her.
Yes, yeah. And so he had chosen her, but they put a pause on their relationship. Kind of, honestly, I think he didn't even care. It feels like he just let it simmer. And then they decided to get back together and proceeded to date for 4 more years.
Yeah. And I think I only really know about them because I would always see them come up on like my Explore page or like on my TikTok feed. And they seemed like so genuinely like, oh, wow, you guys are still together. Like, that's crazy. Like, it must really be love.
Sweet little basic couple.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say anything good about them. Can't say anything bad about them. What I can say is that this breakup was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I need forensic evidence about who did what, when, and where.
Yeah. Because
I just cannot imagine. So the long story short of it is that they'd been dating for 4 years. They go on a trip to Japan. And like part of Rachel's like, not job, but like something that she would do for him a lot is like find restaurants for them to go to so he could like post about it. And they went to this one restaurant and she felt like very underwhelmed by it. And she kind of teared up at dinner because she felt like guilty, which is, I think, a red flag.
Well, she knows that it's like, quote, important to him, but also one, because it's lucrative, right? Like that's their whole thing now. That's how they basically make a lot of their money is through this blog food content. But if you're dating someone where you go to like one shitty restaurant, okay, Hunter would never survive any relationship. You would never see at the end of the meal. But like to have that much anxiety around booking a restaurant that basically like you can't take content at is crazy. Because what is that saying about your relationship?
I know. And that was kind of like the like most like, ooh, gosh, when the way that she said to call her dad Alex Cooper, like, oh, well, like we went to this place and he couldn't post about it. And like, well, if he can't post about it, then like, you know, this dinner is a waste and all this. I was like, oh my gosh, not to be like boomer tease, but oh, what is going to happen to us in even 5 years? Like, but yeah, that was like kind of the first red flag for me. They go to dinner, like don't speak at all during dinner. He's kind of like, why are you so upset about like choosing a bad restaurant? And she's like, well, because I feel bad because I know this is like, you know, you're passionate about it, whatever. And then it turns into some version of like him asking her, well, if you are so upset about this dinner that doesn't even matter, what's going to happen when like real life stuff happens to us? And like, you're not equipped. And then she was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, hold on, excuse me, huh? And some backstory in their like the context of their relationship is that they don't live together because he's religious. Yeah. That she doesn't seem to really have, she's like an influencer, but
in the way that anyone that's on The Bachelor becomes an influencer. I mean, you get that far. You get a certain amount of hundreds of thousands of followers to a certain degree. She might have actually more than that. But I think the pivot in their relationship or where things started to sound crazy is like this one bad trip or like small fight actually then turned into like a deciding factor that their relationship, like he can't see a future with her and she's like someone he doesn't want to invest in anymore. Mind you, the whole time posting on Instagram, she's in every single video like up until this deciding day of their relationship.
I know. And the other thing too is like, okay, so if they had that fight and then he's like, okay, maybe I'm like reevaluating a lot of stuff or maybe it's like awakened like some dormant concerns about the relationship, that's fine. But then why in like the weeks and months leading up to it have you been saying, oh, I want a family with her, posting on Instagram about how much he loves her, like talking in comments about how much he loves her. It's like, but sorry, which is it? Like that's so weird to me. And then the Instagram.
I mean, it's one thing to be in the comments it's another thing to be in CapCut, okay? Do you know how long it takes to edit videos like that? I've been in the trenches. Yeah, Hunter wouldn't know. I've been carrying the load here. But I'm like, you are taking the time to look at your partner's face over and over and edit over and over again and then press post and then follow up being like, I see a future, I see a family with this person. And a day later, he posts an Instagram and let's talk about it. So let's start with the photo. The photo is a crazy horizontal crop after all that Instagram work of the two of them from The Bachelor. Like not an organic photo, something they've moved really far away from in their relationship. This is years out. Caption, Father God. Actually, I'm going to say this. Caption, Hunter, actually, can you bow your head for me?
And I need every head bowed, every eye closed.
Thank you. Father God, give Rachael and I strength to mend our broken hearts. Give us a peace about this decision to end our relationship that transcends worldly understanding. Shower our friends and family with kindness and love to comfort us. And remind us that our joy comes from you, Lord. Broken heart emoji.
The broken heart is like actually so like psychopath.
Do not you dare summon the Lord when you're breaking up with me.
Psychopath. But okay, so then behind the scenes in this Call Her Daddy interview with Alex Cooper, Rachael says, so we went to dinner, he had this conversation with me, we broke up, and then she had to leave Japan and go to back to the US to go to a baby shower the next day. And so they have she wakes up the next morning and she's like, okay, like, I don't really know. Like we had this, like maybe we are broken up, whatever. At some point before she like gets to the airport, the plane takes off, she sees this post because her friends are texting her being like, what the fuck is going on? And then she's like, oh, I guess we like actually are broken up. That's the part that I'm like, not that you can talk someone out of a breakup, but just like, wait, you're gonna like tell everyone immediately? Like something that is like very private between the two of us right now is suddenly like the world's business.
And 3 hours after they broke up.
And now she's on a flight with a phone that doesn't work and she can't even, talk to her girls about it. I was like, oh, no.
12-hour flight, no Wi-Fi.
No.
Right after a breakup announcement. Oh, it's giving suicidal.
Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm buying a gun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm buying a gun. I'm buying a grenade.
Oh, damn.
And I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know.
You will call Luigi. He said, and I got another job for you.
I'm saying kill shot.
No, that was, I think actually one of, like, listening to that was the hardest part for me, for her to think about her friends and her family and all of, like, the people that are in her community that would obviously find out this information normally through her on her time, have now found out hours after her breakup in a way that she had no control over and via a prayer.
Yeah. The prayer part is like just such a crazy part. So toward the end of the interview, Rachael said that they kind of talked like the next day. Because again, how's this whole breakup after 4 years going to be settled in like 1 3-hour conversation in Japan after a terrible dinner? They were hungry. Just
stomach's growling.
Like, oh my gosh. So they talked like the next night, and then she's like, he apologized for the like how he posted the Instagram, but just like there are some things in this world that only make sense within a man's head. Why would you post an old ass photo of them from when they first met? Not even. It's just like weird.
It makes your whole relationship look calculated. It looks like it undermines your entire relationship.
Yes.
And the authenticity.
And
come
the
on,
authenticity.
Jesus. I'm having a really hard day, Hunter.
No,
start.
I'm helping.
Okay. That I feel like they spent so much time and effort trying to build, and like is like in contrast to like the whole Bachelor Nation, Bachelor world. It's like, look, real things can come from this. Yeah. It's like so fucking shitty. Men are so fucking stupid. Listen, bitches are too, but men are really, it's a whole nother level.
I'm gonna say something bold.
Say
death to the Instagram couple.
And that's what I've been saying.
I'm like, you know what? What's mine is mine.
And equal opportunity death to the Instagram couple. I don't want straights. I don't want gays. I don't
think we need to be sharing all of this stuff. Yeah. Until you get engaged with a fresh set, we don't need to know about it. We don't need to see it.
Keep it private. Like Issa Rae when she popped out with her boyfriend.
Yes.
Or husband. Actually.
Yes. And why did she do that? Because she said to Rolling Stone, don't let a man embarrass you.
And that's why Whoopi Goldberg said, don't let a man in your house. Listen to the Lord. Listen to the legends, ladies, please.
Father God. Oh, this prayer is so crazy.
And I don't even come from a church background.
What do you think is next for him? So Rachel did this interview with Alex Cooper of Call Her Daddy, and it was like very in depth, but I do appreciate that she didn't like talk badly about Matt. It was like more about the facts of their relationship as she experienced them, and was very clear about like, this is how I was feeling. I truly don't know how he was feeling a lot of these things because he was giving me so many mixed messages. A, and B, she did clarify that like there was no cheating as far as she knew, and that like people thinking that were projecting. But I'm like, what is Matt going to do? You know, Nick Viall of the Viall Files is like chomping at the bit to get him on.
Yeah, I feel like he'll probably share Taylor's version. You know, he'll do like his little bit of like, this is what happened and why I did it, which I'm so curious to hear whatever that excuse is.
There's no explanation that justifies this.
And then he'll just go back to normal, posting his nasty ass food content. I don't like when men eat. I think it's weird.
And also, if I saw him at a restaurant, I would leave. I would walk right out the door. I wouldn't want to be there. No.
Hunter's act of resistance.
Anyway, I think we've reached a conclusion today that if you're a man, get off the internet.
Immediately.
Close the Wi-Fi.
Right now.
Turn it down.
You don't need that 3G.
Stop it.
You don't need it.
Stop it.
Well, Sarah Hagi, journalist and Scamfluencers co-host, resurfaced dozens of racist tweets from Karla Sofía Gascon, the Oscar-nominated star of Amelia Perez. And you know, Sarah, like normally we ask, like, are you a lover, are you a hater? But I think we have our answer this week. And actually every week with you, to be honest. But my favorite hater, next to Hunter.
Yeah, I remember you sent me a voice note recently where you're just kind of like, you're the biggest hater.
Literally. Because there was like some person that was like, oh, like she ate that. And then Sarah was like, quote tweeted it. No, she didn't. I said, Sarah, one day, okay, we have to put the shoulders down a little bit. But this time, shoulders up.
No, shoulders for sure up.
Yeah.
What I like about this whole saga, I will say, is that you did the work. I can't accuse you of not doing the work.
Thank you. It didn't feel like the crazy part was like, me being like, when I found them. But truly, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Like, I didn't think anything would happen.
Wow.
I was gagged by the results.
Yeah.
Okay. So to get started, have you seen Amelia Perez? And if you have, what did you think of it?
I did see it. My friends and I watched it. And I thought it was going to be a little zanier than it was. But it was mostly just kind of boring. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't even worth like, for me, even like being like, oh, what a stupid movie. Like I was just kind of bored by it when I watched it. I was like, what? That's it? Like it's not even crazy enough.
And so ahead of this, were you aware of like the kind of historic nomination of Karla Sofía Gascon as like the first openly trans performer to be nominated in an acting category?
Yeah, I was. I feel like that was kind of the big thing when this started getting a lot of awards buzz, was like that was kind of the thing everyone knew. If she, before she was even nominated, kind of like, if this happens, it will be historic for this reason.
How did you even come across the tweets in the first place, actually?
Well, because I am crazy, first of all.
Heard.
I feel like this is something that no one really talks about, everyone overlooks. But like, if you're someone who is a journalist or has written about celebrities, like, and you see a lot of tweets that someone has still up, you're going to look for certain keywords at a point. Like, I feel like I personally am always curious where a celebrity or someone famous or who's in the spotlight, like kind of where they fall politically based on things they've said. And I did see a tweet where she used the word Islamist. And to me, that is like, that, you know, gets my sensors up. So I was like, oh, she tweeted this, like, perhaps there's more. Again, didn't think there was going to be anything like what I saw.
Yeah.
But it was really me just being curious. Like, I feel like this happens with so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first instinct when you saw them? Besides Control Shift 4.
And maybe Control find some more.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I first saw first of all, the first one I saw, I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. And then I kept going through and I was like, oh my God. Like, how is this so bad? Like, it keeps getting worse. I was like shaking. I was so shocked by it. And I was abroad. Like I was in Southeast Asia at the time. So I was a full like 13 to 16 hours ahead of everyone I knew, time zone wise. And I texted one of my friends being like, dude, you'll never guess what I just saw. Like, this is the craziest thing. And I think the craziest part was that, again, these people, I will say, people were already kind of coming for her because of what she had said about Fernando Torres and kind of just like how she's been in the spotlight has been a bit controversial based on other things she said. And also like her defense of the movie, which a lot of people found like baseline problematic. So it wasn't all me. Like there was already a ball rolling here, you know? But I was surprised because of all that there was no traction on these tweets. Like I'm telling you, like 1 like, 2 likes, and this is stuff from 2016 to 2022. Hardly any real responses. Like one of my friends I sent it to even screen recorded going through the tweets, and you could see even in the views, like, you know, when you look at tweets, you know, just like listed in someone's feed, you see the amount of views they have. And this was like stuff with like 200 views. So I'm like, oh wow, like people already find this person problematic and they didn't even see this. So that's what I was mostly shocked because no one else had seen it.
I think, I mean, it's like some of these tweets, the one where she called George Floyd a like drug addicted swindler, when she was saying that like Islam needs to be like ripped from the face of the earth or something like that. Like the tweet about Hitler, the tweet about Christopher Columbus in defense of those people. It's like, what? But
who
then,
didn't she offend? Equal opportunity
but
offensive.
now, like, she was doing it for the love of the game. Like, tweeting all of that for no likes, for no one even, like, no even attend, like, not even as, like, a shit poster. That's so crazy.
It is. And also, well, I will say, apparently, allegedly, a couple of them that were going around that, like, other screenshots were fake. Like, the Selena Gomez one apparently was totally fake. And some people said maybe the Hitler one wasn't real. But at that point, like, it's like, you know, that wasn't tipping the scale in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just surprising that it was like truly not a persona she had of being maybe like a right-wing aggressor or someone who, you know, has one identity but also has another of like, you know, kind of Caitlyn Jenner-esque.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't even her identity, which I think was also very surprising. But yeah, I mean, it was all just really shocking. And once those tweets started going viral, I did also get a lot of DMs from Spanish speakers who were telling me that like the translations didn't do how hateful it was justice. Like there were certain words she was using, you know, to describe Muslim women that would kind of have translated to animal tonally. Like it was apparently even worse in Spanish, which is something that maybe the translations didn't give off. So again, it was just like, what? Like, how did they not find this?
Yeah.
That is so just crazy. So we want to switch gears and ask about her apologies. Karla Sofía Gascon she issued one apology on Thursday night after your tweet started going viral. And then she issued a longer apology to The Hollywood Reporter on Friday, which she said she had written through tears. She deleted her Twitter account at that time. And then on Sunday, she did an hour-long interview with CNN in Espanol. Have you seen these apologies and what do you kind of make of them? She seems very defensive and kind of claims that she's not racist, is apologetic to everyone who she might, quote, most sincere apologies to all the people who may have felt offended for the way I expressed myself in the past, in my present, or in my future. And there's a thing about her like not even wanting to kill a house spider.
Oh yeah.
That was good. That was really good. Yeah, it was crazy because the initial reaction wasn't an apology. Like she actually didn't say I'm sorry. She just like acknowledged it and was like, yeah, those are things I said. Like and I said this in an interview, like I think when it comes to people saying terrible things, like there is a way to start coming back from it and to be very sincere and show humility and being like, yeah, I said these things that are very terrible, and like fully acknowledging it as a bad thing you said that hurt a specific group of people. And that wasn't her first instinct at all. Shows me this is more about her chance for winning an Oscar being totally kind of ruined, perhaps over something stuff she said and stood by for a very long time. Like, I don't think she ever really apologized for it. It's all coming from a very, very defensive place. Like, in one of them, she was like, "You'd be surprised to know one of the people I love the most in my life is a Muslim." And you're like, what the?
I
Like,
love when
I saw that one,
the
yes.
Muslim friend, the black friend, the like Asian friend comes into play, being like, "Well, I have a black friend, like I have a Muslim friend." It's very like, oh, so now you're really scrambling.
And I think in that sentence too, she's like, "Oh, I've learned so much from my Muslim friend," and it's like, wait, so you did think all of that stuff before? Like you, it can't be you go through what you go through. Like it can't be that.
Yeah. It's also like, who is this friend? Like,
Yeah.
show me to me. Like, who the hell is
Bring
this
him out.
person?
It's time.
And what are they doing? Like, also, it's so like, you only say that if it's a novelty for you. Like, I'm not going to be out here being like, and you'd be surprised to know I have an Asian friend. The reason why you're surprised is because you hate this person. That's the shocking part. Is you're hateful and you have a friend who is like the person you hate.
Yeah, we loved your answer actually in the interview you did with Variety when you were asked about her tweets being an example of cancel culture, and you had said, "quote I entirely disregard those people intellectually on every level."
I need to drop a mic for that one. Oh my gosh.
So let's hold space for that. What has been the aftermath for you?
This isn't my first rodeo of like going viral over something stupid. This is, I will say, the most like intense of anything that I've been a part of. Also because like, you guys know me, I'm just Sarah. Like, I'm not out here like a part of the industry in that way. Like, I'm not a movie person. Like, I don't work in film. I live in Toronto. I don't do anything. And to me, it was just very, very surprising that like I was a part of this conversation at all. Like, it's like so laughable that it's me. And I don't really give a shit about like online racists or trolls ever. But I think once it started getting bigger, like with that Variety interview, I didn't really end up looking at what anyone was saying about that outside of like my friends who were messaging me or whatever. But I'd say most of all, it's been great. Like, Brazilians love me now. Like, they literally
Sarah
are
Hagi,
out
come
here
to
calling me
Brazil.
Sarah Hagi da Silva. So that's pretty awesome. I think it's been mostly positive. But it's also just like weird because again, I'm like, who am I? The world is too small that someone like me could have done this.
But it also goes to show like the kind of obnoxiousness and the kind of just that these tweets existed for so long and that no one even thought to check, or that they didn't surface in any other way, is like kind of mystifying to me when there's like a studio as big as Netflix behind this movie.
That's the most shocking thing to me. It's like, I feel like baseline, if there is a film that becomes this big and one of the stars maybe didn't have the global recognition, like this isn't like Zoe Saldana, who's been famous for the last like whatever amount of years. Like, this is someone who's new to this type of fame.
Yeah.
You see that many tweets from someone, I think without even looking specifically, nuke all those tweets from before when they started tweeting about their film or whatever. Like,
yeah.
It just seems
everything.
so obvious to me. And that's what's so surprising. It's like, you shouldn't, if you're that famous or becoming that famous, like, you shouldn't have, the easiest footprint to get rid of would be Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to ask you one more question before we close. I saw on Crazy Days and Nights that you're friends with Demi Moore.
Well, listen,
Demi
and I, like, with my famous friends, like, I don't lead with that.
Totally.
It's like,
I respect that.
Like, she's just Demi to me. You know what I mean? It's like the way you're just like Hunter, you're just Peyton. Like, it's not about those things. So I felt very violated with that. No, it's so funny. Imagine I was actually friends with Demi Moore.
I could imagine that. It's a future I want to see.
When would I have met her? I'm like, what is this? I think also it's because after I did those tweets, I made a joke saying, "You're welcome, Demi Moore."
Yes, I saw that.
But it's true. It's like, it's like, it was between her and Karla, right?
Yeah.
Basically, and I don't know. I think it was really stupid. I think that kind of ruined everything because I was like, man, like blind items, you really just can't be saying anything.
And that's the problem with, never mind. Anyway.
To be clear, Sarah Hagi, thank you for being here. Co-host of Scamfluencers, not a studio plant.
Not a studio
Demi
plant.
Moore.
Not yet. Not yet.
But
Sarah-
hey, if you want to give me money, you can give me money.
Where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/kindahaggy and Scamfluencers. Yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Oh, love you too.
Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
Let me say this. Here is how Demi Moore can still win that Oscar. It's hers.
And I want for Demi what we got for Beyonce. So let's wake that up.
And if the only reason you're going to a restaurant is to post about it, straight to jail.
Straight to prison.
Let me say